live stream where I am going to be answering some frequently asked questions, just a quick 30-minute live stream to reassure you and give you the clarity that you need to keep applying to grants. This week I actually dropped some really cool videos. I'm so excited to talk about them tonight. So come on in and join into my live stream. And I'm hoping everybody's doing well. Okay, I haven't usually, if you are used to seeing me, you'll most likely know me from like always talking about grants and going on live and stuff like that and talking about great grant opportunities. Well, I'm gonna do my grant spiel and then we'll get into all these new videos that I've dropped. So welcome into my live stream. Yes, this is live, so I'm so happy that you guys are here. So grants is debt-free money you don't have to pay back. So there's no credit checks, no personal information needed, like your date of birth or social. I have been winning grants for 10 years and I'm a 71% successful grant writer. My most recent $100,000 win through Goldman Sachs, and I've actually won 3 grants for my clients within the last month or so. I've actually posted those shorts on my YouTube. Now, I have a dedicated YouTube channel, as you guys are here, and I talk about grants all the time. I've been doing this for 6 years. So I'm not new to this. I'm definitely true to this. So welcome into the live stream. I'm so blessed to have you here, and I hope you guys had an amazing Easter. So I won't take up too much of your time. Okay, but I do want to be able to give you guys a safe space to be open, to ask me some frequently asked questions, to ask me some questions about grants and how they work and what your journey was like. I would love to know, like, what grants have you been going for? How have you been applying to grants? What type of questions have you came across that have been challenging for you that I can hopefully give you clarity on tonight, or this evening for you, wherever have you. And hopefully you will comprehend how to answer these questions that will help you increase your chances of approvals. So what have I been doing? If you guys don't know, I live in Africa. Okay, I live abroad. I've been living abroad for the last 3 years, almost 3 years. And I'm still like running my grant business for all of my US based clients, UK based clients, and clients here in Africa. Okay, so I help everybody. I help tech companies, new companies, startups, seasoned businesses, schools, nonprofits, you name it. I've helped get millions of dollars in grants, and you can definitely win it too. It's just all about how you go for the opportunity. Okay, all right, so let's get into it. So I dropped some new videos. I don't know if you guys saw them, but I dropped some new videos on my YouTube channel, and I have a brand new YouTube series called the Grant Masterclass. And simply, the Grant Masterclass is made up of 5 videos that I'm dropping that give you step-by-step ways on how to actually search and apply to grants, the tools that I use, how to develop a grant proposal. So I have that one coming out on Sunday. So make sure you turn on push notifications. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, please. And definitely share those videos that I already dropped. So I dropped a video on how to start your business with a grant. Then the second video we have following that is how to win a grant. So like the 4 items, business items that you need before you apply to grant. So that's like a 7-minute video. And then the video that I'm dropping this week on Sunday is really going to dive deeper into a grant proposal, because I think you guys need to know the difference between a grant proposal and a business plan and what a grant proposal really needs to have. It's a very targeted document. So what it needs to have to help you increase your chances of approvals. Okay. All right. So grants, free money, all that good stuff. I have a 10-minute video out right now that shows you how to search and apply to grants. So make sure you go to that and watch that and share that with your friends so that way other people can know about grant opportunities. Yes, I do one-on-one consultations. Okay, I do them virtually all through Zoom. So if you ever want to have a more targeted conversation, something more in depth, more like a deep dive on what you're doing or what you might not be doing correctly to help you win these grants, that's fine. We can have a one-on-one consultation. That is actually, the link to that is inside of the description of those videos I talked about. Okay. All right. So I wish I can tag those videos here. I wonder if I can do that. All right. So I want to, let me see. It says start a Q&A. I don't know if you guys can ask questions, but okay. Yeah, you guys will have to ask questions. So I want to know what questions that you guys have about like your entire grant writing journey. Is this your first time learning about grants? And what tools have you used to search and apply to grants yourself? And like, what has your grant journey been like? I want you guys to ask me questions. I love interactive live streams, and I want to make sure that the information and that I'm providing to you guys on my YouTube channel that's solely dedicated to this is giving you guys quality content that you can actually learn from. So yeah, it's been hard to get grants. Oh no. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. I only applied to a few. I've been discouraged to try again. I really hate that. I know that it can be very discouraging, but you have to keep going. And I always give this analogy. Grants is like going for that like lotto or that scratch off, right? And you never know which scratch off ticket or which lotto ticket that you have went for or you pay for, you just like went for that opportunity. You never know which one will give you that opportunity, right? So you want to consistently apply. It's a thing that you want to put in your routine. Most businesses, I've been doing this for 10 years, so most businesses, whether you are a startup or a seasoned business, most of these businesses that win grants, they actually hire a grant writer solely for these like top opportunities. Like they do this just for grant, like they have a grant writer on their team only for this, okay? And it's because they treat grants like it's an extra stream of income. They don't treat grants like, oh, it's an opportunity that they are dependent on. And that think that, we're so like interested in getting like this debt-free money, this grant money that you can go for that you don't have to pay back. While that is a really great idea, right? While that is true, um, you have to be consistent. Consistency is key with winning these grants. And I talk a lot about that in my new YouTube video that I dropped that has like 10 minutes. Um, but, and it's also the type of opportunity you go for too. Like if you keep going for the grants that, let's say $10,000 for startups, and it's a very general grant, it's very broad, and you don't go for those state and local grants or those grants that are very targeted towards you and what your business does and what your business mission is about, then you might find yourself in a much more challenging pool of people that you're competing against when we are talking about going for grants. Okay, so let me give you an example to break that idea down a little bit more. The grant that says, let's say you go for a $10,000 Hello Skip grant. And that grant is for all businesses, no matter what stage you are in your company. So you can be in your idea phases, you can be a seasoned business already generating revenue, right? Or you could just simply be a startup and you're just making your first $1,000. And it can be no matter where you are in the United States of America, as long as you are US based. Well, the pool of people that you're going to be competing against for that $10,000 grant is going to be very broad. You might have a candle making business or a beauty business or a health business specifically for seniors, right? Versus going against a tech idea, a fintech idea that will help in heart surgery or that will help, progression in finding the cure for cancer or something, right? So your competition might be much more in that type of grant opportunity versus going for a grant that's specifically for your type of business industry, and also going for a grant that is specifically like mission to mission, like that grant mission aligns with your business mission. So if you have a youth development idea, say you want to help young ladies learn etiquette skills and do like this etiquette class for the summer and things like that, right? And say you're a nonprofit. Well, if you go for that $10,000 grant that's for everybody, that you're going, like I said, you're going to be competing against a lot of people. Versus you go for that nonprofit grant specifically targeting youth development programs or programs for young women who need etiquette skills and education, right? And now you're looking at, okay, now you're only competing with your local area. You're only competing with probably a couple of other nonprofits that do the similar things that you do. All you have to do is focus on making sure your mission and the answers on the grant application align with the grant mission. And that's generally speaking how you would increase your chances of approvals and help you with like seeing more wins. Okay. What would be the most effective grant incubator paid website? Should I have a so to answer your first question, I always use Grant Watch. I actually talk about this in my new video that I just dropped. I gave you guys all the grant spiel you need. Okay, so that 10-minute video, you definitely want to go check that out. It's called Start Your Business with a Grant. I literally just dropped it like this week or this recent week, last week. Um, and I have an entire playlist. I have an entire playlist on how to like step by step. It's called Grant Masterclass Step by Step. But I use grantwatch.com. That's my favorite one. And should I have an LLC, a nonprofit, or what other entity to optimize the grants in full abundance? So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have whatever idea you want to make it solid. And making it solid is definitely like doing the proper registration to make it an actual business or to make it an actual nonprofit. So if you are going for those business grants, well, each business has at least a business registration no matter where you are in the world. So rather that's a limited liability company or a partnership, or incorporation, or if you're a nonprofit, then you would have to go through the necessary paperwork to make sure you have your nonprofit registered. So yes, when you have your business registered, no matter where you are in the world, that shows commitment to your idea, and that shows that you have already invested into your business just by doing that, and it serves more in your favor when we're talking about applying for grants. Okay. So what other questions do you guys have? Multiple streams of income. So yeah, multiple streams of income. So yeah, you can show, I don't know, like if that was a question. I don't know if that was a question. Each business can definitely generate different ways of income. Look at my business. I have a small business consultancy, right? So I get one stream of income is through my YouTube streams and social media. Another stream is through me actually writing articles, right? So I write articles through like medium.com, which is generally where I put my grant list at. Brand deals that I get, and then also I have another stream of income where I do in-person consultations where in whatever country I'm at. My digital courses, so that's 5. Then I have another stream of income through like if I'm doing like a speaking engagement, right? And I just decide to do so, that's another one. And then through my actual services, which I offer 3 different services. So yes, showing multiple streams of income is definitely like really good, especially when you are going for a funding opportunity. So rather that's grants or that's loans, lines of credit, credit cards, angel investments for sure, because that shows that your business is generating profits, right? And anytime you can show that you're generating income in your business, you do have the opportunity of getting funding. You just have to go for the funding opportunity that's in your favor. Cindy says, does the United States still give loans or grants or any help for a new business? Yeah, actually today I just dropped a video on a $1,500 micro grant. You don't need an LLC and you don't need an EIN, so definitely check that video out. I just posted it on my YouTube like a few hours ago, and it's called the Hugh Capital Micro Grant. The link is actually in the description of that video, so definitely check it out. It's like a 5-minute video. It runs through what the grant is, and like I said, the link is in the description. And you can go ahead and apply to that grant, but they definitely still give out grant opportunities to startups, into those specific type business types that you might not have your LLC and things like that, but you can use this micro grant to invest into your development process meaning purchasing the registering your businesses, and doing whatever it takes to develop your product or service. So yes, There will still be grants. And to give you reassurance, no matter what's going on politically in the United States or anywhere in the world, there will always be grant opportunities, solely because these grants are also funded not just through the federal government. Not all of them are funded through the federal government. A lot of these grants are funded out of people's pockets, out of other businesses' income. So, like for example, Famous Amos is still giving out the I think it's $30,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 grant, where they're giving out $10,000 to each business, and it's like three winners. Well, they're using their income from that. Apple Incorporated gives out grants. Google gives out grants. Hello Skip is a nonprofit. They actually share their revenue streams from like social media and stuff, and they give out money. Right? They're a nonprofit, so they give out all their income. You have some other grant writers like myself and Coach K and Stormy Banks and other amazing grant writers that we actually take money from our income and we reinvest into you guys because we're showing commitment to our audience and to our community. So we are not federal, we don't work for the federal government. So because these grants will always be available because we're using our income. So grants are funded through your state and local governments too. That is funded through the taxes from the people. So they would take some of the money from the taxes that you pay to be able to give startups and small business owners in your local area opportunities, funding opportunities and grants that they can pitch for or win that will help them with scaling their businesses and being able to provide more jobs in your community. Furthermore, like I said, other business owners give out money. So that's more of like private investors or private sectors that give out money. And then you have those other businesses that give out money like Amazon. Okay, so there will always be grants available. Do you guys have any other questions? I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I'm not doing like a whole 1 hour live stream or anything like that. I just wanted to be able to give you guys the space to answer, like to ask me, excuse me, any questions that you might have about your grant writing journey. I hope that this journey is, even though if it's new for you, it's definitely a journey that you have to be consistent on and you have to just keep going. I won 3 grants just recently for one of my clients, and that is after we have already applied to well over 90 grants, 90 grants. So I'm not saying that's a general ratio, right? But out of the 90 grants, 90 or grants or more that we've applied to, we don't know, like I mean, because I'm organized, I know which ones, which number, we actually it was, but it wasn't grant number one, right? It wasn't grant number one that we won, which was the first grant that we applied to. It wasn't even grant number like 30 that we won, that we applied to, right? It was more of like grant number 50, grant number 49, grant number, like, you know what I mean, 37. Like it was like around there. You never know which, that's why you have to be consistent. I'm saying that to say, like, out of all the grants that you apply to, you don't know which one you will win, right? So you have to be very consistent. It's not like you apply to one grant here this week and then you apply to another grant there, you apply to another grant. No, you have to really like give yourself the chance and sit down and apply to it, or hire someone like my team that will apply to the grants for you, right? That's why you have grant writing teams. But you have to see the value in it. Hiring a grant writer is something that most startups like to do because they like the idea of getting free money, but you have to make sure that it's best that you're actually already generating revenue. Let me cook. So the client that hires, like that hired me, right? That the most of my clients that I win grants for, they are consistent on our grant subscription. They pay the most on the grant subscription because they want me to apply to more than 30 grants for them every month. So essentially, it's like having me on their payroll and they're paying me every month to take care of this task for them. But their business is already generating revenue. If you are a startup, then you have to do what you have to do in your startup phases, which is sacrifice the time. And you have to be willing to do that for your idea. You got to believe in it. And showing that you believe in it is sacrificing the time. All right. So even if you just took like 24 hours out of your weekend, out of your week, if you can give somebody 40 hours in a week, all right, you can give yourself at least 15 to 24 hours for your own business and commit to it. Okay. Now, Out of those hours, with you educating yourself, developing the product or service, and putting things together, you need to set some time aside to focus on funding. What does it look like for like doing your own checks and balances without you even making income? What that means is simply making sure you have things in order. When money comes in, where will it go? What system will you use? What bookkeeping system are you going to use to make sure you're like towards the end of the year things are going to be good? Are you going to put it in which bank? Why are you choosing that particular bank? What benefits does that bank come with? And then what funding opportunities do you have by being with that bank? And then not just that bank, but does this bank also give out grants themselves? Where is my business located? In the area that I have actually purchased my LLC in, do they give out a lot of grant opportunities to individuals like myself, to businesses like mine? So you got to start asking yourself and setting yourself up for success, right? The best way to set yourself up for success is to be proactive. I'm a 10-year entrepreneur, and I can't say my entire rodeo has been successful. No, I've definitely went through the ebbs and flows of business, and I've learned a lot of lessons on this road. See, I'm an entrepreneur before COVID, through COVID, and after COVID. And it has not been an easy journey, but I'm still standing. And I've made a lot of sacrifices in my personal life to still allow my business to stay afloat. So sacrifices must be made in time, money, energy, and intellectual, like in mental space, right? And emotions for sure, for you to really see the benefits in the glory in your business. Okay. So if you got a business idea, it's something that's going to solve a problem, then it's a no-brainer. It's going to make money. You just need to set yourself up for success. Yes, you can go for grant opportunities. So then use the free information. I have a whole entire dedicated YouTube channel, and I organized a playlist specifically on the step-by-step, like a whole grant masterclass that teaches you everything you need to know. If you feel like you need more tailored support in grants because it's something you're really interested in and you want to learn more about, then you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me. In each of my videos, the link is in the description, or you can simply visit my website, which is superchargemybusiness.com, and book a grant call. All right, it's really cool. And like even outside of that, right, you have other business resources and tools that you can use that a lot of people don't use in your state and local governments, like the Small Business Development Center, the SBA, and then like other business groups that you can join through social media. So we have a lot out here now with this internet and so much now. Like it's literally it's you have to search for it and you have to like be dedicated to it. Okay? So you guys can do it, because if I was able to do it and survive through all of that and still through surviving through these economic times, right? You can do it too. And to be fully transparent, all right, I used to come on live on YouTube. So if this is your first time seeing me, hey friend, welcome in. Okay, I'm Superior Shelby. I'm a 71% successful grant writer, and I've been writing grants for 10 years. I've been winning them for 10 years, okay? And uh, I used to do these live streams every day. Yes, twice a day, every day, no matter what country I'm in. But I slowed down on doing it so I can reassess my business and refocus on what needs to be done now. You will come in a time in your business where you actually have to kind of like sit still and then listen to God. And then when you hear God say, take the right way, then you have to go right. And sometimes it's not clear to you that you need to go that route. I'm in a transition in my business, being fully transparent, where I'm having to learn so much about Africa and how to develop businesses here and the mindsets here. So that way I can start to teach all that I know about the opportunities that I've been able to win internationally, so I can teach the people about grants and stuff. Grants is not just for the United States. I have clients based in London. I have clients that are South African that I've won grants for their tech companies. And I've actually posted, a lot of you guys actually come from my short, the $750,000 grant. Well, that was a South African client that I won that grant for. Yeah. So these grants are not just for United States based companies. These grants are, there's international accelerator programs, there's incubator programs, there's so many angel investment capital opportunities you can go for. It's just, is you got to make sure you have like clarity that that opportunity you're going for is what's best for you at that time. Okay. So yeah, do you guys have any grant, like any grant questions or any type of questions, business related? And we have like 5 minutes left in the live stream, and I just want to make sure that I'm like accommodating you guys. If, by the way, if you guys don't know, I'm in Africa. So I love being in Africa. It's actually been like, I've been here for about 7 months, but I think I'm about ready to go to another country, but I don't know. Needed your page today. Thank you so much. I'm hoping. And don't forget to check out my recent video where I talked about the $1,500 micro grant. Let me see if I can bring it up. The $1,500 micro grant for anybody who has like a startup idea. You don't have to have an LLC. That's what I like about it. You don't have to have an LLC or EIN or anything, friend. It's called the Hugh Capital. I'm going to see if I can try to pull it up for you and show you. Okay, so that's it. I put the link to this grant in the description of my video. Let's go to that video so you guys can know which video I'm talking about. Go to my channel. And make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. I will appreciate it. Okay, so is this video right here. Apply now, start your business with this grant. No LLC or EIN required. Okay, so definitely share this video. Share it to all your friends. It's only like 5 minutes, and it talks about a $1,500 micro grant that you can go for. And yeah, okay, so if you are a startup and you don't even have your LLC or EIN, this is a really good grant for you to go for, that you can go for. And then I have an entire playlist, but these are like my most recent videos. But I have an entire playlist that you can take a look and watch on how to like search and apply to grants. Also, I recently talked about a $5,000 grant that you can go for. This was about 5 days ago, so you guys can take a look at that one. And then like another $5,000 grant. So if you are like trying to do content creation or any type of creation, like even if you own like a barber salon, hair salon, whatever have you, like there's so many different requirements. As long as you're a creative-based business, creative-based business, you can go for this. I'm playing around with the title, start a candle business with this. I'm playing around with the title, but you can, as long as you're a creative-based business, you can get this $5,000 grant. And then, so this is the playlist. If you're looking for the playlist on, let me just wipe my camera. If you're looking for the playlist on, that didn't make it better. On how to search and apply to grants. All right, that's better. So I'm under my playlist, and it is this one. It is Grant Masterclass, your step-by-step guide to free money. All right. And so this is what it comes up as. It's really easy if you watch this on your TV, all right? So that way you can just kind of sit down or cook or whatever, and you'll get all the information that you need. Everything is direct. So the first video you have is win a grant for your startup with these for business ideas. I think that's how it is. It's not supposed to be like that. But the first video, honestly, is supposed to be start your business with a grant. All right, so that's the first video you actually want to watch. It's supposed to be like that. There you go. You want to watch this video first. I'll make sure I order it for you guys in the playlist. And then this is the second video. So win a grant for your startup. with these 4 business items. This is literally all you need to know about how to search and apply to grants. And then I have one upcoming video, which is win a grant with these easy step-by-step with a grant proposal. So this teaches you more about grant proposals, right? So yeah, okay, you guys definitely want to go check out that video, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm really happy about this one. Yeah, and it's quite fun. Okay, I have a startup business, and wait, needed your encouragement today. Thank you, thank you. I have a startup business, and I'm trying to avoid interest routes. LOL, do you think USA funding is a good place to start? So with grants, you don't pay them back. So there's no interest or none of that stuff. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff. That's what I like about grants. So it's not like a grant. There's a grant is, and that's why you should watch that video, because I literally give you the Google definition. So a grant is debt-free money. Debt-free money means you don't have to pay it back. Debt-free money, literally, I'm talking about it right here. See, a grant is blah blah blah, rewarded by the government, foundation, organization, all that good stuff. You really gotta watch this video. It's so good. But 10 minutes of good information. But you don't have to pay it back, so you don't have to worry about any of interest. So grants is like the best thing to go for. Um, is it okay to put grant money in a personal bank account not to use? Of course. No. Actually, you can't get funded by a grant without having. That's a really good question. You have to have a business bank account if you are going for small business grants. If you're going for a personal grant, which is like rental assistance, utility assistance, food assistance, WIC assistance, Title 20, Social Security benefits, like Medicare and Medicaid. If you're going for any type of personal grant that is funded through the federal government, then you can use your personal banking information if they ask for it, or they might provide you with, like, let's say the EBT card, right? They will provide you with credits or vouchers themselves. But whereas with going for business grants for your startup or small business, in your startup phases, it's important for you to have all of your business foundational things done. Like, you need to make sure your business is professionally set up. And a part of that is having your LLC EIN, your website, business bank account, a business plan, things like that. So you want to have all of that together. Um, I have a entire video on how to start your business in 2025. Um, so I have that. I recorded that back in December, so you can take a look at that. That literally gives you step by step. And then also in the description, I provide a link to my business setup spreadsheet. So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch the playlist my first day. Absolutely. Go for it. But yeah, have a business bank account, because grants will not fund you unless you have a business bank account, and it needs to be the same name that you put on the grant application. So if you say it's ABC Company LLC, then your bank account needs to say ABC Company LLC in order for them to, like, literally deposit the money into your account. Okay, that's just how it works. Okay. Any last questions, you guys? I really want to say thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you guys had like a blessed, Passover weekend, Easter weekend, and you enjoyed yourself. I wanted to give you guys the safe space to be able to come on here to, learn more about grants and, things like that. Still waiting on LLC in the mail. Should I start applying once I open my bank account? Yeah, or you can start applying now. Grants can take you 30 days to get a response, and you want to be consistent, right? So you want to apply to at least one grant a day. So yeah, you can still apply to the grant. If the LLC is on this way, you've already purchased it and invested into your registration, then go for it. And then you just want to make sure you have your business bank account set up before you get approved for a grant. So say you apply to a grant today on April 22nd, and then let's say the deadline date is April 29th, right? Or April 30th. Well, you want to give them by May 30th or June 1st to correspond to you via email to let you know if you were selected for the grant. So you need to be mindful that in the entire month of May, you want to prioritize making sure you have your business professionally and properly set up, and also making sure that you have your business bank account. So if you were selected for the grant opportunity, by the time June comes, or by the end of the like towards like the middle of June, sorry, when they're ready to deposit the funds into your money, into your account, then you want to make sure that you have your bank account ready to go. All right, you don't want anything to stop you from getting any of this free money. Okay. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. I'm going to let you guys go. I know you guys have things to do. We're all busy people, right? But make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And definitely share my videos that I just recently posted. I have an entire playlist dedicated, some really short videos on how to search and apply to grants, the tools that I use, what you need to have before you apply to grants. Like, these videos are like very direct. The longest video so far in the video series is 10 minutes. The other ones are like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. So it's very direct. Make sure you have your notebook. You can rewatch the video. You can speed it up 2x if you feel like I'm talking too slow. But I'm telling you, it's direct information, all that you need to know on how to search and apply to grants. And make sure you share it with your friends, share it on other social media platforms, so that people can like get this free information on how to get grants. Okay. So thank you so much, and you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, okay? Bye-bye for now.